The Russo-Ukrainian conflict, which skyrocketed in 2022, has emerged as a focal point for analyzing contemporary military tactics and their profound effects on warfare. As Russia and Ukraine adjust to the changing nature of warfare, they use cutting-edge tactics and technologies that reinterpret conventional military engagements. The conflict not only emphasizes the significance of precision warfare, asymmetric tactics, and advanced weaponry, but also the crucial role that international support and logistics play in determining battlefield outcomes. Here are 7 key points that illustrate the modern military strategies employed in this ongoing conflict and their implications. Number 7. Ukrainian counteroffensives. A key component of Ukraine's military policy, counteroffensive operations demonstrate both tactical creativity and the efficient application of foreign assistance. Ukraine has carried out a number of well-coordinated counteroffensives since the full-scale invasion began in February 2022, with the goal of recovering territory that Russian forces had taken. The September 2022 counteroffensive in Kharkiv, in which Ukrainian troops swiftly advanced, recapturing vast areas of land and driving Russian infantry to retreat, is a notable example. These carefully thought-out operations frequently rely on in-depth intelligence obtained from satellite photos and reconnaissance missions. Integrating long-range precision weapons from the West, like HIMARS, has been essential to these initiatives. Targeting command centers and logistics hubs that are essential to maintaining Russian operations, HIMARS enables Ukrainian forces to launch attacks far behind enemy lines. By proving they can carry out successful offensive operations against a more powerful foe, this capability not only upends Russian supply chains, but also raises Ukrainian morale. Additionally, these counteroffensives have 2 goals: they seek to retake lost territory, while simultaneously bolstering Ukraine's international image of tenacity and resolve, which will continue to win backing from Western friends. Number 6. Asymmetric warfare tactics. Ukraine's strategic recognition of its conventional military weakness in comparison to Russia is reflected in its embrace of asymmetric warfare methods. Ukrainian troops have successfully employed small unit tactics that enable them to fight Russian forces in ways that take advantage of their weaknesses by emphasizing mobility and flexibility. This involves using hit-and-run tactics, in which small groups of soldiers ambush or raid isolated units and supply convoys to cause damage, while reducing the likelihood of direct conflict. In this situation, drones have taken on a revolutionary role. Armed unmanned aerial vehicles and reconnaissance drones are widely employed for monitoring and targeted attacks against Russian targets. Real-time information collection allows Ukrainian commanders to quickly make well-informed judgments and modify their tactics in response to changing battlefield conditions. Number 5. Russian conventional warfare. The strategy used by the Russian military has mostly been based on the conventional warfare concepts of overwhelming force and massed firepower. In order to achieve swift victories, Russia first pursued large-scale offensives, employing combined arms operations, combining infantry, armor, artillery, and air support into unified groups. But as the war went on and Ukrainian opposition turned out to be stronger than expected, Russia started to change its strategy. Smaller, more scattered formations were used as part of this modification in order to lessen susceptibility to Ukrainian counterattacks, while continuing to apply pressure on strategic locations like Donetsk and Luhansk. Russia may need to further modify its traditional approach in order to adjust to the realities of contemporary warfare as it continues to face these difficulties. Number 4. Integration of technology. The crucial significance that technology plays in contemporary military operations for both sides is demonstrated by the Russo-Ukrainian conflict. In order to improve its capacity to carry out precise strikes against Ukrainian sites, Russia has made significant investments in cutting-edge technologies, including as unmanned aerial vehicles for targeting and reconnaissance. Decisions on artillery targeting are informed by the real-time intelligence these drones give, enabling more precise attacks on enemy forces. As part of its larger strategy, Russia has also used cyber capabilities, including attempts to interfere with Ukrainian communications and spread false information among civilians in an attempt to lower morale. Number 3. High casualty rates. Tens of thousands of soldiers have been dead or injured on both sides of the Russo-Ukrainian conflict since February 2022, according to estimations, which represents a startling human cost. In addition to demonstrating the ferocity of the fighting, the high death toll also draws attention to the major operational difficulties that both armies encountered. Russia suffered significant losses during early offensives due to initial underestimates of Ukrainian opposition. Logistical lapses made matters worse, as forces battled with a lack of supplies and insufficient support systems on the front lines. As families deal with the loss of loved ones deployed into battle without proper training or assistance, reports indicate that Russian ranks' morale has decreased as a result of ongoing casualties, making recruiting and retention challenging. Number 2. Geopolitical ramifications. The Russo-Ukrainian conflict has geopolitical repercussions that go far beyond regional boundaries, impacting security and international relations globally. NATO allies have re-evaluated their defense postures in response to the war. Many have greatly expanded military assistance for Ukraine through arms transfers, training programs for Ukrainian troops, and intelligence sharing to strengthen Ukraine's defenses against Russian aggression. This coordinated reaction highlights a shared position among Western countries on Russia's security threats, a change from earlier reluctance to become directly involved in regional wars. Number 1. Future adaptations. Both Ukrainian and Russian forces are expected to modify their military tactics in light of lessons acquired from continuous conflicts and changing battlefield conditions as the Russo-Ukrainian struggle rages into 2024, with no apparent end in sight. The focus on technological developments implies that future military operations will depend more on enhanced cyber capabilities for information warfare targeted at remotely upsetting command structures or eroding enemy morale, as well as artificial intelligence for battlefield decision-making processes, an area in which both sides are making significant investments. In order to increase operational flexibility, both militaries may also try new strategies that are intended to be sustainable over the long term, as well as effective in the short term. One such strategy could be hybrid warfare, which combines conventional forces with irregular units that can operate independently or in tandem with civilian populations. You can produce an interesting and successful outro that improves the viewing experience and promotes ongoing engagement with your video by concentrating on these components. Thanks for watching our video, and don't forget to subscribe.